All right, welcome to This Explainer. We're jumping right into a pretty fascinating modern morality tale today, set smack in the middle of Hyderabad's gig economy. We're going to unpack a story that looks at the nuts and bolts of digital fraud, sure, but really, it's about the massive psychological cost of taking the easy way out. It's an incredibly raw look at just how fast a good person's character can completely unravel when you apply the right kind of pressure.
And we're kicking things off with this piece of grounding philosophy. Money earned honestly may come slowly, but it lets you sleep peacefully. That's actually a quote from our main guy's mother. Every single morning as she packed his lunch, she'd remind him of this simple truth. And honestly, it sets the stage perfectly for what we're talking about today, because what we're really looking at is this ultimate collision between old school integrity and modern high-speed temptation.
Which brings us to the big question. What actually happens when honesty becomes just too expensive to afford? I mean, it's super easy to be honest when life is going great, right? But this question forces us to really examine the breaking point of good, hardworking people when they're just crushed by relentless financial pressure. Really, how much weight can a moral compass take before the needle just totally snaps?
Okay, moving on to Section 1, the honest delivery rider.
Let's look at Ravi. He's a 24-year-old delivery rider pulling these totally exhausting midnight shifts in a city that literally never sleeps. And guys, the basic math of his life was just brutal. He wasn't working to buy the latest gadgets. He lived in a tiny rented house with his widowed mom, and every single rupee he earned the hard way was instantly swallowed up. We're talking essential medicines, his younger sister's college fees, just keeping the lights on. His only real escape was this distant, quiet dream of one day opening up a small family restaurant so his mom could finally catch a break.
Which leads us straight into Section 2, the easy money shortcut.
So everything changes on this one random evening. Ravi's waiting outside a busy restaurant for his next pickup, and he bumps into an old schoolmate named Vikram. And wow, this chance encounter completely derails his life. Picture this contrast. On one side you have Ravi, exhausted, stressed about unpaid rent, sitting on a beat-up scooter. On the other side, Vikram and his crew are rolling up on these ridiculously expensive sports bikes, decked out in branded clothes, flashing the newest smartphones. That visual contrast between Ravi's nonstop struggle and the flashy, seemingly effortless wealth of his old friend, it creates a really dangerous temptation. It practically forces Ravi to ask, hey, what kind of business are you actually in?
Now, Vikram kind of laughs it off at first, but before he rides away, he drops this incredibly dangerous lure. If you ever get tired of struggling, call me. He brags that his crew found this victimless shortcut to make thousands of rupees every single night. Because, skimming off faceless multi-million-dollar corporations totally doesn't hurt anyone, right? At least that's the pitch.
Let's break that down in Section 3, the mechanics of fraud. So how did this so-called victimless shortcut actually work in the real world? Well, Vikram's whole scheme was a highly calculated exploitation of food delivery apps. Step 1, they'd spin up completely fake accounts. Step 2, they'd order these massive, super expensive meals. Step 3, and here's the kicker, they found a loophole in how certain payments were verified upon delivery so they could basically vanish with the food before the transaction was actually authenticated. And finally, they'd either sell that high-end food for pure profit or game the cancellation process. They literally turned a digital loophole into untraceable cash on demand.
Now, to his credit, Ravi initially says no. He knows it's stealing. But we got to go back to our core question. What actually breaks a good person's resolve? For Ravi, the breaking point wasn't some sudden wave of greed. It was a mechanical failure. His old delivery scooter finally broke down, and the mechanic's bill was more than his entire monthly savings. No scooter meant no work, and no work meant his family goes hungry. So, when Vikram calls again, Ravi caves. He tells himself, just once. Famous last words, right? He uses his insider knowledge as a delivery guy to pinpoint the exact restaurants that had weak payment verification protocols, basically acting as the inside man for Vikram's crew. And in one single night, Ravi makes more cash than he normally earns in 2 weeks of backbreaking work.
All right, Section 4, the inevitable fall.
Here's the harsh, ugly reality of temptation. Easy money never, ever wants to be a one-time thing. That just once mindset, it is a total trap. Weeks turn into months, and the frauds just keep scaling up. Ravi goes out, buys a shiny new phone, a fancy helmet, expensive clothes, but the psychological toll is absolutely brutal. His mom starts noticing all this unexplained cash, which forces him to lie to the exact person he was trying to protect in the first place. Every police siren makes his heart hammer. Every unknown caller makes him sweat. That peaceful sleep his mom always talked about, completely gone, replaced by this suffocating 24/7 anxiety. And meanwhile, the corporate side, they aren't just sitting on their hands. These delivery companies are not oblivious. They are quietly, methodically piecing together the entire digital footprint. Week 1, they notice the weird patterns of missing orders. By week 3, they are matching delivery logs to traced burner phones. By month 2, they've pulled CCTV footage from the targeted restaurants. They essentially build an absolutely airtight case before finally bringing in a special investigation team.
And then the inevitable happens. One rainy morning, there's a loud knock on Ravi's door. 2 police officers are standing there right as his mom is literally packing his lunchbox. He's arrested for his role in organized delivery fraud. And, in probably the most predictable twist ever, when Ravi desperately looks around for help, Vikram and his flashy crew are completely gone. The guys who promised him this brotherhood abandoned him the absolute second the real consequences showed up.
Section 5. Rebuilding from rock bottom. So Ravi goes through the courts, serves his time, and gets out. But honestly, his real punishment starts the day he's released. No delivery app will touch him, his community totally shuns him. One day, sitting alone in a park, he runs into his old supervisor, Mr. Iqbal. Ravi tries to defend himself, pleading, "I wasn't born a criminal." And Mr. Iqbal delivers this harsh but just incredibly profound truth. He says, "No, you simply chose people who were walking toward one." Wow. I mean, what a realization about the massive gravitational pull of the company we keep.
Ravi finally gets it. Trust isn't something you can buy, and you definitely can't hack it. It has to be rebuilt from scratch. So he takes on the most grueling, honest work he can find. He loads heavy trucks, he scrubs kitchens, he washes dishes. He spends years, literally years, just quietly proving his sincerity and rebuilding his character, brick by brick.
And you know what? Years later, Ravi does achieve his dream. He opens that small, simple family restaurant. And right above the front door, he hangs a wooden sign with that exact lesson. Choose your friends as carefully as you choose your future. It hangs there every single day, for him and his customers, as a daily reminder of the most expensive lesson of his entire life.
And that brings us right to the core takeaway of this explainer. This story is such a powerful illustration of how a fundamentally good person can lose absolutely everything. Their peace of mind, their hard-earned reputation, their actual freedom, just by keeping bad company and trading their integrity for a quick fix. The path back to trust is always going to be way longer and way harder than the shortcut that destroyed it in the first place.
So I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to chew on today. Take a really honest look at your own circle right now. Who is walking with you today, and where exactly are they leading you? Because at the end of the day, the company you keep doesn't just reflect who you are right now, it actively shapes the exact path your life is going to take tomorrow. Think about it. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and keep learning.